Hello class, welcome to our level 1 tutorial of Scratch. Where you can find your resources for Scratch is on our Team Oringo site under the regular Steam course site by clicking on level 1 Riding a Flare from the Sun. And if you look into these resources, you should see what the goals are, which is to know how Scratch works and to learn about coordinates and sprites. And the goal of the game is to make sure we get Scratchy, the cat, to move again. So we'll make him dance across the stage. For any reference, all the references to this stage is under Stage 1, Riding a Flare from the Sun. The example is called Breaking the Spell. It's made by someone else who has done Riding a Flare from the Sun. So if you open that one up, it goes to the MIT Scratch site, and you'll see the project made. So we have Scratchy the Cat on a coordinate system, and if I press the flag, Scratchy the Cat will create a pentagon with a star in the center, and that's the program you will create. So in all the levels that and stages that I publish on video, you will always see the end result of this project. So let's close this and let's start some Scratch. At the end of Scratch, I want you to submit your level 1 Scratch project in the submit level 1 submission bucket right here. The first thing you want to do is you want to create a folder on your desktop or in your documents folder. I am going to place it on desktop because it's very easy to access later on. So I'm going to name this level 1, and for you it's always good to put your name right next to it. Okay, and if you're using Windows, you are going to go to the start menu on the bottom and you are going to type in Scratch. And we'll say Scratch 2. All the Macs have Scratch 1.4 on them. You can still submit it as a Scratch 1.4, but please do not go to the Scratch website and create it, because then you cannot save or submit your Scratch file. But here is the Scratch game design, or the user design interface. So what we have here is right here in the middle we have our commands. Here is the stage. Here's where all your sprites, and sprites are another way of saying the graphics, and this is where we write our program. And as you see, this is if you want to make it in full screen. This is if you want to play or stop the script that you made, and so forth. Okay, so the first thing we want to do, we'll update this one later, is we want to set the stage first. And so to set the stage, we want to make sure we click on the stage, and it will change some of the menus. And now we have script and we have backdrop now. We want to change the backdrop. We want to add a backdrop that's called XY grid. So we're going to scroll down, and the XY grid is right there. And so if I click on the stage, the XY grid should show up. So I'm going to go back to the script right there, and there it is. Now Scratchy is on the grid, on your background. What we're going to do now is we're going to move Scratchy, make sure we select Scratchy the Cat, and we're going to move him up the Y axis right there. And as you see, every time I move my cursor, right below where it says X and Y are the coordinates of your stage. It's very important to know where your coordinates are, because later on, if you want to move Scratchy in a certain location, you can record where Scratchy is, or where Scratchy can go to. So to make sure we give Scratchy the Cat some instructions, we want to make sure that we click on him on the sprite list. Right click on sprite list if you want to rename them, so by going to info and renaming the sprite, so I'm going to call the sprite Scratchy. Scratchy, right there. And I'm going to go back, and his name has been changed. Okay, and so we want to move Scratchy to a certain location at coordinate 0, 0. And we want to go to our motions palette and find the command go to. And we're going to move the go to command inside of our script palette right here. There's more that we need to do, because if I try and play the script, nothing's going to happen to Scratchy because there is no event for him to take place. And an event is kind of like, it will cause, it's an action that will cause Scratchy to do an action. A couple things for Mac users. So we're going to change
Mac, you'll be using
the number inside to 0
of Scratch. It'll be Scratch 1.4, which will have slightly different interface. Things are just switched around, but all commands are there.
And so far we've written our first
with
program.
Exploring that and comparing it to the video and the reading.
You want Scratch to move around, but
Scratch
at the
on
moment,
the Mac
he moves too fast for us to see.
You want to
so
go
we
to
want
the
to
you want to go to the
make
Go menu.
him
so
move more slowly.
menu.
So we want to click on the control panel
in the Finder
palette and drag.
And you know it's the Finder because on the top left-hand corner of your screen, it will say Finder. Now,
you want to make sure you drag it
Go menu.
This blue command.
You want to find
connect like
the
blocks,
Applications
like
folder. And when you get to the Applications folder, click on the Applications
folder. Now we just want
folder,
to change the wait 1 second
and you'll find a window will open. And
if you want to
scroll down and find the Scratch folder in the Applications folder. And inside that, so once you open the Scratch folder, click on the Scratch program. Okay,
next,
and that's how
you want to select the duplicate button on the Sprites toolbar. The Sprites toolbar are on the top middle part of Scratch program. And this is the duplicate button. Alright, so what we want to do is we want to click on the command and duplicate, not that one, sorry. Duplicate right here. If you leave your mouse up here, it will say duplicate. Click on that and go to the drag the duplicate tool to your codes, and it will duplicate the codes right there. But what we want is making sure that these codes are in its original location. It wants to go to 0125, wait 0.1 seconds, then go to another coordinates, wait 0.1 seconds. We are going to make 5 copies of these same commands, so we're not always dragging these commands over and over again. So this is a way to shorten time, so that's what we're going to do. So there's 3, 4, and see 1, 2, 3, 4, and one more, 5. So we have 5 repetitions of go to x 0, y 125, and wait 0.1 seconds. These type of coordinates, type these coordinates in your program so it matches what you see on the screen. So we're going to type in 150 and 30, 0.1 seconds being that, the orange block. Then the next one 100 and negative 120, 0.01 seconds, negative 100, negative 120, 0.01 seconds, negative 150, and 30. What's 30 here? 0.1 seconds. Alright, and I think we won't need this. Let me double check if if this is all we need. This is all we need. So if this last part is something that we don't need, we can drag it into the command and it will disappear. Okay. Now to make Scratch the Cat loop forever, we want to have a command block forever. Forever is in your controls palette, and forever is right there. So we want to drag the forever command block right here, and as you see, as I connect it, it will adjust itself to all these codes. So now all these codes will go on forever. You can actually test this program this way just by clicking it with your mouse. So if I click on the mouse, Scratch the Cat is already moving. So if I stop it, it will stop there. I can also do that with these coordinates as well. If I want Scratch to go here, Scratch will move. Also, if I want to get this forever block away, and I want Scratch to move here, alright, or if I want Scratchy to move here, you can do that as well to test out your program. And it is very important to test out your program constantly to see if it's working the way you want it to. So now let's make Scratchy glide around instead of jumping from point to point. To do this, we want to click on the motion palette and drag out 5 glide commands. So let's find glide. And glide should be right here. Glide 1 second to 1 second to a certain coordinate. And we're going to drag the glide command right here. Alright, and we're going to duplicate this 5 times because it's going to do something 5 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 right there. We're going to change the time for each of these to 0.1. And again, this is your time to kind of venture away from this, and you can test out what happens if I change the time. What part of this program will this change? Okay, so feel free to change any of these along the way and see and experiment. That's what programming is all about, to experiment and discover something new. So in terms of the X and Y axis, is 150, 30 for the first one, negative 100, negative 120 for the second one, 0 and 125 for the third one, 100 and negative 120 for the fourth one, and negative 150 and 30 for the last one. Now we can join these two programs together to form the together, and by dragging and clicking, dragging them underneath the wait 0.1 seconds right there, and now it's part of this forever program. Now we want to drag the when clicked, and that's part of the events palette. Without this, then we can't click the flag and have it move. Okay, this event will allow us to click that flag so that it moves. The cat, Scratch the Cat can move in a certain pattern based upon our program right here. And if you want to stop it, you'll click on the stop button and Scratchy will stop. Now, next, click the pen palette and drag out the 4 green pens. So we'll go to the pen palette, and we are going to select clear first. To clear the stage, then we'll set the pen's color to a certain color. To select the color, as you see, the color changes when I'm at a certain place. So right now it's gray because my cursor is on the gray, and it's orange because my cursor is on the orange. And I click on the color that I want. I can select the pen size as well. So I'm going to find pen, change the pen size, or set pen size, sorry. we want to set it to 10. And we want to make sure the pen is actually touching the coordinates. So we want to make sure the pen is down, so it allows us to draw. So this says that when I click the flag, let's clear the screen, let's set the pen to orange, and let's set the pen size to 10. So that's the size. Now let's put the pen down on the coordinates and let's start drawing. Okay? And so let's play it and see what happens. Occasionally when you run your program, there is a software bug. This is the most exciting part of computer programming, discovering an error in something that you have made and then solving the problem. In this case, sometimes Scratchy will draw an odd line at the beginning of the program. If we drag Scratchy initially, if I stop this program, if we drag Scratchy right here, then he's going to start drawing there. Alright, and it looks like I'm missing one piece of the program as well, so we'll check that. We'll check it out as well. So let me go back and debug my program and see if I got everything that I need. So right here I got 150, 30, 100, negative 120. Oh, I am missing one more program. Let me do one more, and I want you to add this too because I missed this. Let's say I want to go to 0, 125. And make sure that negative is out of the way. It's just 0, 125, and I want the time. I want us to wait 0.1 seconds. So we are going to find that under control right there. 0.1 seconds right there. Okay, and let's test this one out again. There you go. That's what we want. We want to have a hexagon with a star in the middle. That's the shape that we want. Now the software bug can be fixed by adding some more codes, that is new blocks, to your program. In this case, simply place a new go-to block. So initially, let me stop the program. By having this go-to block, it will force Scratchy the cat to go to those coordinates before everything starts. So we're going to say go to, and let Scratchy go to negative 150 and y equals 30. And make sure it's underneath when clicked. So when we click the flag, Scratchy will start right here and start drawing the star. Alright, there's a difference. If I get this code out and I put Scratchy right there and I click the flag, he's going to first draw there and then create the star, and that's our software bug. So in order to solve that software bug, we need to put more codes into our software. So maybe back to negative 150 and 30. Let's add a whole new program to make the magic star web that changes colors. Let's build a second stack of blocks that uses the change pen color command and see what happens. So we are going to create another set right here and say script events when clicked, and we're going to put a forever command here under controls, and then the forever command we are going to put the pen, and we're going to change the pen color by 1. What does that mean? Well, let's test it out. So it looks like it's going to change the pen color by 1 color. So let's see what happens if I click the flag. It changes the color slightly. Alright. Now we are done with the program. What you're going to do is you're going to go to File, you're going to Save As. Oops, let me stop the program. File, then Save As. And you are going to place your file in your level 1 folder. And we're going to call this level 1 with your name or your group's name. Save As, or Save. And now we're done with Scratch. We're going to close Scratch. And we are going to go to Team Aringo. And we're going to save our work. We're going to import our work there. So we're on Team Aringo. We're in the Steam sites. We are going to go Submit Level 1. And I'm going to go in as a student right now. And submit level 1. And right now I can't do it because I'm not a student in class, but let me see if I could get myself out as a student. Return to normal role. I could probably submit it. Submit level 1. And right below, add your submission. Okay, and find your file, level 1, in this case Aringo, drag your file in there, and save changes. I'm not going to save changes right now, or else you'll all see my assignments. Alright, so I'm going to press cancel, you say save changes, and you've submitted your work, and you finish level 1 in Scratch. Okay, congratulations for your first program, and proceed on to level 2.